Problems. Yes, KGF did have problems, and if you think the movie was perfect and was flawless, please stop watching this video. This video is not for you. But if you want to hear my perspective, do watch this video. This video is not at all about complaining. I just want to give my constructive criticism. I'm not saying this at all that I know any better than the creators of KGF, but I have a platform in my hand and I would like to use that to share my thoughts on the movie. If you're following me and you're following the community tab, you would know that I recently watched KGF again on Amazon Prime in Kannada with subtitles with my friends, and among them I was the only one who had watched the movie before. And it was really fun to ask different kind of people what they think about the movie. Everyone had their own liking and disliking. Some loved the movie, some didn't, and that really helped me break down what issues the movie had. And if you find the problems valid, I hope this video makes a difference. I think the biggest problem I felt this movie had was its ambition to be two separate movies. Not only with the visualization, the Mumbai part and the KGF part, but also the two audience they were targeting. One, the audience who love watching commercial cinema, love watching a greater than life hero, and the other one, the critics, the people who want content, stories greater than the actors or the hero, those who want more realism in the movies. And I think Bahubali really balanced that out. But what helped Bahubali, I think, was it was a fantasy film, whereas KGF was based in real world. The second point is editing, and this is kind of conflicted, and I'll explain you that how. A lot of people, critics, foreign critics, said that the editing was very rapid and sometimes they couldn't even see what's happening. The editing was so fast paced and so rapid. And I think the reason for that is the amount of stuff the movie had to deliver, the amount of story that had to be told, the amount of things that had to be shown. And I would say kudos to the editor that he could do all that, fit all that information within a 2.5 hour film without boring anyone. And the other part of this is that someone told me in the comments of my previous KGF videos that director wants that kind of editing so that people come back again to watch the movie in the theaters. But I would say that if you're a fan of the film, fan of the actor, the director, you would of course go second time and watch it. But the risky part is if someone, because this movie was promoted all over India, people are new to the director, the actors, they lose interest in the first viewing itself. They'll not come back to the second viewing. That's the risk. In my Urugam review also I said that the editing was very rapid at some points. You can check out my review here. The cutting of the shots is so fast that I'm not even able to appreciate the shot. Bhuvan Gowda did an amazing cinematography, but I couldn't appreciate what he's showing me because there were so many cuts and the visual couldn't even stay in my head because it moved so fast. And that's a bummer because you want to see that amazing visual shot by him. And the third and the last point will be the biggest flaw in visual storytelling. In visual medium, you show, you don't tell. But this movie had so much stuff to say that it was telling me and not showing me. So when I was watching it in Kannada, I was reading the subtitles, and sometimes the subtitles were so fast that I couldn't even complete the line and it moved on. For me, I knew what was happening in the scene and what was happening in the movie, but for the people who were watching with me and they were missing out, they were asking me what happened, what's happening here, and I was like explaining them. Even in Urgam, when they explained the different gangster groups in that area, it was so rapid and I was like so confused because I was watching it with subtitles. I didn't know which cat was what and what he's doing. But by the end of the movie, it didn't even matter much and I understood slowly. Same thing goes with this movie. In the beginning, all the characters linked to KGF is introduced and told about is so rapid you can't even read what's happening, who's who guy, who, why, what's like, it's so confusing. Even when I watched it in Hindi dub, it was so fast and reading that in subtitles is ridiculously difficult. And all these things are the choices that the filmmaker are making. I heard that KGF was supposed to be one single movie, but there was so much to tell, so they had to divide it into two chapters. First chapter only had so much stuff in it. It felt like watching Game of Thrones, 2 seasons of Game of Thrones combined together in 2 hours. It's ridiculous. If you go through all the points again, you'll see there's a common theme in them, that is too much content. And that's not a bad problem to have. People don't have content and they make movies, and you have too much content. And it's on the makers how they want to represent it. In the chapter 1, they chose to, tell everything through the dialogues. But I wish the second chapter, they come up with something that really use the visual medium and we don't miss out on anything. I'll be really impressed if they do that. One thing I didn't like at all in both the versions, the Kannada and the Hindi version, was that item song in that bar. I would have done without that. I wish they used that just for promotions and didn't include that in the movie. But I understand why they do that. The movie is so heavy, so tense that you need to give audience a break to relax. But there are pros and cons to it. Pro is that they get relaxed, but the con is that sometimes people lose interest, and that was happening with me. Please, it's too long, just cut it down. Let's move on with the story. That's very important, that you should not lose the attention of the audience. That was all the problems I had, and I wish I could reach to the creators and they watch this video, and whatever they find that they can change or implement and they think that they need to work on it, that'd be great. Now, too much problems. I want to talk about the things I really loved about this film. Number one is music, man. The BGM. Oh my god, it was so good. The music for all the mother scenes was so touching. Even after watching a second time, I loved it. I really loved the world building they had for KGF. It was really good how everything was set up, how many security guards are there, all that they had planned, and how things work in KGF. It was really well done. I think everyone acted really well, especially Yash. He was so charismatic. Loved him in every scene. The only person I think I didn't like his acting, or it was too over the board, was that peon who was getting chai for the interview. He was like sometimes too much. I understand why he was there to give that comic relief, but his acting was literally too much. I was recently watching Amitabh Bachchan starring Agnipath, and I could see that Prashant Neel has taken a lot of inspiration from that movie. All the Mumbai scenes had that influence of Agnipath. There was a scene when the car arrives, that the Dawn from Karnataka comes, and that scene, same kind of car is shown in Agnipath, but the shot doesn't look that good. But KGF, they show that slow motion in the rain, it really looks good. So there are a lot of things like that. Even Yash said in an interview that, of course, 70s Amitabh Bachchan movies were the big inspiration, and you could see that in the movie. So that's it. There's a lot of scenes I love. There's a lot of things I want to talk about, but I cannot include all that in this video. So I'll try if I could do a live stream, and I'll tell you beforehand. So stay tuned to my community tab. We can talk about the epic scenes and all that stuff there. But for now, that's it. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. No problems. Tell me in the comments your thoughts. I would love to hear what you think. And I think KGF chapter 1 is wrapped up now. We just have to wait for what KGF 2 brings. I've heard that they are trying to get Sanjay Dutt to play a role in the movie. I think he'll play that Dubai Dawn. He'll look good in that role, but let's see. So again, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. Check out other videos, and I'll see you next time.